top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The UP OCTA research team said they are now seeing a trend that may lead to a flattening of the coronavirus disease curve by the end of August to September. Dr. Guido David said the COVID-19's reproduction rate, or the number of people infected by the virus carrier, went down from 1.5 to 1.1. This after Metro Manila and 4 nearby provinces returned to the second strictest lockdown level earlier this month. David explained that a basic reproductive number, or R0, that is greater than 1 would mean the infection will spread exponentially. But if an R0 is less than 1, the infection will spread slowly and eventually die out. David, however, added it may still take 1 or 2 more months before the number of cases will be at a very manageable level. David also advised the public not to be complacent because a surge can still happen again. Meantime, Department of Health Undersecretary and spokesperson Dr. Rosario Vergere explained why the country is already achieving the flattening of the curve during today's Palace press briefing.
We have to be cautious when we interpret these curves because it is not just the numbers that we look at. We also look at the capacity of the health system in any given country. So when we look at the number of cases, we also have to look at the capacity of the health system alongside with it and the number of deaths. So even though that we have these numbers rising, we can see that our health system is managing, and we can see that the deaths are not increasing, and it is at that steady state where we have 1.58 case fatality rate. So kapag ganyan po ang nakikita natin na nakamanage naman natin ang ating mga kaso sa ngayon. Nakikita ho natin mas madami ang mild and asymptomatic rather than those who are critical or severe.
An official of the Department of Education on Monday revealed that there are hundreds of confirmed cases of COVID-19 among its personnel and students at the basic education level. DepEd Undersecretary for Administration Elaine Pasqua, in an aide memoir dated August 19, reported that as of 6 p.m. of August 18, a total of 748 DepEd personnel and learners, including the central office, have been confirmed to be COVID-19 positive. Pasqua said that of the confirmed COVID-19 cases, 268 are learners, 311 are teaching personnel, and 169 are non-teaching personnel. Of this number, Pasqua explained that 318 remain active cases, 408 have recovered, and 22 have died. Pasqua outlined the COVID-19 general process and protocols for reporting, coordination, and response in the central office. Concerned personnel are required to immediately report to their respective heads of office or the company clinic doctor, who is expected to act immediately and appropriately. Filipinos were among the thousands who volunteered in the Phase 3 trials of a potential COVID-19 vaccine in the United Arab Emirates. This was revealed by Philippine Ambassador to the UAE, Jaysalin Quintana, during her recent visit to the Group 42 or G42 healthcare station located at the Abu Dhabi International Exhibition Center. G42 has 181 Filipino frontliners, 180 nurses, and 1 doctor involved in the COVID-19 vaccine trials. The ADNEC trial site is touted to be the biggest of its kind in the world. Since July 16, 2020, the potential vaccine has been administered to over 15,000 people of various nationalities, including Filipino volunteers. One of the first Filipinos to volunteer in the trial is UAE-based Filipino journalist Neil Bai. Bai said his motivation in joining was to express his gratitude to the UAE government for caring for all foreign residents during the pandemic. The UAE is among the first countries conducting a Phase 3 trial for a potential COVID-19 vaccine that is developed by the Chinese pharmaceutical company Sinopharm. Malacanang has denied the calls for a revolutionary government from private individuals. The palace also reminded the public that President Duterte's desire to finish his term and pass the reign of power to his duly elected successor. Argil Heducos has this story.
Malacanang has rejected calls from private individuals for a revolutionary government. A pro-Duterte group assembled at Clark Freeport in Pampanga on Saturday to present a resolution that is allegedly approved by 300 supporters, including those who participated online. But presidential spokesperson Harry Roque reminded the public of President Duterte's desire to finish his term and pass the reign of power to his duly elected successor. In his Monday presser, Roque said that a revolutionary government is not needed, especially at the time of COVID-19 pandemic.
Yung mga na-mention po ni Presidente na dati po na suporta sa Rev Gov, that was early on his term po, no? At mukha naman po nagbago na dahil bago na rin po ang prioridad natin. Ang prioridad po natin ngayon ay COVID-19 at siya po ay on his last 2 years in office where he has expressed his desire, no, to in fact finish his term and turn over the reign of leadership dun nga po sa kung sinong ihahalal ng taong bayan sa eleksyon ng Mayo ng 2022.
The palace official meanwhile reiterated that the public should just ignore the calls for a revolutionary government.
So sa ngayon po, siya ay constitutional government. Kung kayo po ay nagkakaroon ng agam-agam na he will stay beyond his term, nako, that's the farthest from the mind of the president and I can assure you that po, no? So ngayon po, wala pong magiging silbi ang revolutionary government. Tuloy-tuloy lang po tayo na ginagawa ang ating mga tungkulin.
Roque, however, said that those pushing for a revolutionary government cannot be charged for inciting to sedition because they do not pose a clear and present danger. For MB Now, this is Argil Heducos reporting.
At least 11 persons, 6 of them soldiers, were killed while 40 others were hurt after 2 explosions believed to be caused by a female foreign-looking suicide bomber rocked Holosulu on Monday. Lieutenant General Corleto Vinluan, commander of Western Mindanao Command, said 5 soldiers and 4 civilians were killed in the first explosion, which occurred when an improvised explosive device planted on a motorcycle parked near a military truck went off at 11:53 a.m. The first blast happened in a town plaza in Celante Street, Plaza Rizal. The truck was carrying soldiers from the 21st Infantry Battalion who were there to support local government officials on a COVID-19 response mission. The 6th soldier perished in the second explosion at around 1 p.m. while he was calling out the attention of a foreign-looking woman who detonated a handheld IED. Of the 40 injured, 22 were civilians while 18 were soldiers. It was not immediately clear if the unidentified motorcycle driver was also the suicide bomber who detonated the second IED. But Vinluan believes that the 2 explosions are related. Mateo said investigators are looking at the Abu Sayyaf group as the possible perpetrators of the attack, while the motive behind the attack is not yet determined. He added that probers will also investigate whether the attack was connected to the suicide bombers being tracked by 4 Army intelligence operatives who were slain by 9 cops in Jolo last June 29. In Metro News, Manila opens newly renovated Lagusnilad underpass. Barangay coding scheme imposed at Pasig Mega Market. More in this report.
The newly renovated Lagusnilad underpass, which connects Intramuros to the Manila City Hall, was launched by the Manila City government this morning. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso, along with other city government officials, led the soft opening of the now clean and green underpass. Its walls are decorated with colorful murals depicting significant events in Philippine history and vibrant photos of Manila's landmarks, such as Jones Bridge and the new Binondo Chinatown Arc. This was done in a bid to boost awareness on Filipino art, history, and culture and to bring art to the public spaces. Vertical gardens are also installed on the walls of the Lagusnilad underpass in line with the Magoso's vision to create more green spaces in capital city. Signages were placed at the underpass entry and exit points to help commuters easily navigate the area. A Manila interactive info desk that can give the public information about the city was also installed. The iconic thrift bookstore from underground was also allowed to keep its place, and it was also given new bookshelves to display its books. The underpass was also given ample lighting and CCTV cameras to ensure the safety of pedestrians. The city government said it will next renovate the Loton underpass that connects Intramuros to Loton Avenue. Meanwhile, the Tourism Promotions Board has lauded the initiative of Manila Mayor Isko Moreno to improve the capital city's public spaces. The Intramuros administration called the rehabilitation of the long-neglected Lagusnilad underpass as a welcome development to boost the tourism in Intramuros, Manila, which is also called the Walled City. To ensure that physical disturbing is observed, Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto has issued an Executive Order No. 43 imposing a market coding scheme at the Pasig Mega Market starting August 25 to regulate the movement of people and strictly implement policies on essentials travel and physical distancing protocols. The coding scheme has been recommended to be enforced at the market due to high volume of people entering its premises, which may result in further spread of coronavirus disease. Residents of selected barangay are allowed to enter the public market only on their scheduled days. The mega market will be closed on Mondays for disinfection. Residents will be required to present proof of residence such as barangay certificate, identification cards, or quarantine pass before entering the market.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. Tacloban placed under GCQ after sudden spike in COVID-19 cases. Aklan Solon pushing for creation of Boracay Agency. And COVID-19 cases in Caraga region rises to 455. More in this report.
With the sudden surge of coronavirus disease cases in Eastern Visayas, Mayor Alfred Romualdez, through the Regional Interagency Task Force, has ordered that Tacloban City revert back to General Community Quarantine or GCQ starting Monday, August 24 until September 8. The reclassification was asked by the city government as a preemptive measure to avoid implementing a lockdown in case the situation worsens and in order to balance the economic activity and public.
In world news, U.S. authorizes plasma treatment against virus. Twin storms threaten U.S. as 12 killed in Haiti, Dominican Republic. And Japan City lights up sewer covers. Let's watch this report.
American authorities announced on Sunday an emergency authorization for doctors to use blood plasma from recovered coronavirus patients as a treatment against the disease that has killed over 176,000 in the U.S. The move by the Food and Drug Administration comes as President Donald Trump faces intense pressure to curb the contagion that has hobbled the world's largest economy and clouded his once promising prospects for re-election in November.
This is a great thing. Today I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. The FDA has issued an emergency use authorization, and that's such a powerful term, emergency use authorization for a treatment known as convalescent plasma.
The plasma is believed to contain powerful antibodies that can help fight off the disease faster and help protect people from being seriously hurt by it. While the treatment has already been used on patients in the United States and other nations, the extent of its effectiveness is still debated by experts, and some have warned that it could carry side effects. 2 hurricanes are expected to slam in the U.S. Gulf Coast in the coming days. As Tropical Storm Laura killed at least 12 people when it struck Haiti and the Dominican Republic, according to forecasters. U.S. media said twin hurricanes were unprecedented in the Gulf of Mexico since records began 150 years ago. Tropical Storm Marco strengthened into a hurricane with winds of 120 kilometers per hour and is forecast to hit the state of Louisiana tomorrow. The storm has flooded houses, cut off remote villages, and left more than 1 million Dominicans in the dark. In neighboring Haiti, a 10-year-old girl was among the 9 dead, authorities said. They said some homes were flooded and evacuations were underway. From a blank canvas manhole that is normally ignored by anyone, the Kurosawa Japanese city is reimagining the possibilities with illuminated versions featuring anime characters on each manhole. The city is hoping the unusual additions will attract visitors, including enthusiasts of the painted decorated manhole covers that adorn some of Japan's streets. The covers light up from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. using solar power, illuminating the pavements that lead from the city's main train station to a new cultural complex featuring an anime museum. The cost of the illuminated covers has not been disclosed, but it is covered by the sponsor, and the funky feature will stay in place for as long as the firm continues to pay for it.
In entertainment, in a recent episode on their YouTube channel, 9-member indie folk pop band Ben and Ben reenacted some of their favorite Pinoy movie scenes. Among the titles they picked were One More Chance, Four Sisters and a Wedding, Hello, Love, Goodbye, and more. They thanked the producers of the movie, Star Cinema and Viva Films, for allowing them to use the footage for comparison purposes. In the middle of the video, Paolo Benamin extended their gratitude to people working in showbiz, whether they do it in front or behind the cameras. He said that Pinoy movies have a big impact in their band's career because many of their songs were used for various movies. In 2018, Ben and Ben released Susi, using the movie Goyo Ang Batang General, and Maybe the Night for the movie Excess Baggage. Filipina Broadway star Lea Salonga extends a helping hand to some of her colleagues through a pledge drive. Proceeds from her latest release, Dream Again, will benefit the Actors Fund that fosters stability and resiliency and provides a safety net for performing arts and entertainment professionals over their lifespan. Dream Again music video features different people from around the world holding up a banner that has their dreams written on it. Among the wishes are hug and kisses from parents, meeting newly born nephews, going home to be with family, and going back to school, to name a few. Lea's daughter Nicole Chien also showed support for the advocacy by doing the cover art of the new song. And in sports, Manny Pacquiao recently released a CCTV video of his posh Los Angeles home being robbed in the middle of his WBA welterweight title fight against Adrian Broner in January 2019. A YouTube channel named Team Pacquiao posted a 3-minute video showing 5 men stealing items that included a safe and a guitar. The video, which was shared by Pacquiao on his Twitter account, also showed valuables and items that were not stolen littered all over the house. The robbery happened while Pacquiao was facing Broner at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. It was only discovered when Los Angeles police officers noticed that the front door was open during a drive-by routine the next morning. Pacquiao's publicist Fred Sternberg said nothing substantial was stolen. Pacquiao defeated Broner via unanimous decision to retain the WBA crown, which he won from Argentinian Lucas Matisi 6 months earlier in Kuala Lumpur. And those are the news on web today, August 24, 2020. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.